All right, good morning, Southern Middle Tennessee. My name is Del Kennedy. I am dude number 3. It's going up to 87 degrees today and sunshine. I mean, that's doggone near summer-like weather. It's a mixed blessing, folks. We are in the middle of a drought. And, the spring weather and the greens sort of fools you into thinking that isn't so. But if this keeps up in the next few months or even the next few weeks, we're going to be in big trouble. First, the farmers will feel it first. Their crops and livestock their pastures will be dry. Their crops won't grow, all that kind of stuff. But then the rest of us will feel it as well, and our gardens won't grow. Our flowers will die. Our yards will turn brown. We'll have water rationing, water shortage, all that sort of thing. So let's pray that we get rain, because we sure need rain at this point. Dude number 2 is Ron Hart, native son, favorite son of Columbia, 1977 graduate of Columbia Central High School. He's on the road this morning. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
All right, where are you on the road to?
Atlanta, Buckhead for meetings and stuff, and a couple things. Have to go down there every now and then. Keep an eye on my wallet and make sure I don't get broken into.
Got it. A drive through hell for a nice, fun-filled meeting. Sounds like a great day.
Got to go.
Got it. Okay. All right, dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning, Mr. York.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning, Jeb.
Morning, y'all.
And just to remind folks, Jeb has a podcast. He records it immediately following this show. It's live, I think, right?
It is.
It is.
Where can people find it live?
They can find it live on Facebook or YouTube.
And then it's out there. You can listen to it anytime you want, wherever you find your favorite podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the name of the show, Jeb?
In the middle of it with Jeb Hart.
Okay, good deal. And also we have Clayton Harris with us here this morning. He's still a dude, but formerly the dude number 2. Clayton, good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
That's a better way of putting it, Dale.
Not in transition.
There we go. There we go.
He had to say it, Clayton.
Oh, man.
All right, we have got all things county commission this morning. That's a great thing. So, I mean, I think now that we got these folks, we'll talk a whole lot about the county commission. First of all, regularly here with us on Tuesday, former chair of the Maury County Republican Party and presently a member of the Maury County Commission, Jerry Breidenbach. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, everyone.
And presently a member of the Maury County Commission and also candidate for Maury County Mayor running as an independent, Gabe Howard. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning.
All right.
Clayton, did they kick you off or?
No. We everything was planned.
You're not a dude anymore.
I'm here. I'm still here. But yeah,
He's still a dude.
I promise you, I'm still a dude. I promise.
Just a reshuffling of the lineup. It's all good. We are thrilled to have Ron. He grew up here, and has always had an affection for his hometown. He also, he contributes generously to various causes here in the community, and he's a humorist as well. He's a libertarian humorist. He writes a column which appears in these days. It's mostly websites, I think, because newspapers are sort of defunct. But around 60 platforms, including newspapers around the country. Yeah, Clayton, what's up now?
Oh no, I was just going to say also the founding member of the Chattanooga Church of Scientology as well.
Yeah, that's right. I want to come talk to y'all about Scientology. I've discovered it, and as if religion is not confusing enough, they all things equal, you got to go with the religion that has a spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, this is L. Ron Hubbard and the spaceship, and the Earth was created by aliens and that kind of thing. Is that?
Yeah. I just changed my name on Facebook to L. Ron Hart.
Hey, Del, you was talking earlier about the planting time and farmers. It'd be interesting to know how many farmers are planting the same crops and the amount of crops that they're planting this year, particularly the ones that in Tennessee that do trading are traded with China.
Now that I don't. I mean, what's traded with China, I don't know much about. I mean, the primary crops around here, row crops are corn and soybeans. I think there's been a lot of publicity about foreign trade of soybeans, hasn't there, Mr. York?
Yeah.
And
Tennessee did quite a bit before the tariff issue in trading with China, but my contact at the Farm Bureau, I'm gonna have to check with him and see if he knows.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure the Agriculture Commission or whatever in DC has those numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure Farm Bureau knows. I mean, and of course, my son's on the local board here, but he's a livestock farmer. But I'm sure he talks to the crop farmers all the time. I don't, I don't know what. Let's see. I think the last time I heard, the price of soybeans was still pretty good, but I'm not in that world. We'll have to ask Mr. York and find out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've not heard corn talked about in the foreign trade context. So who knows? We also have livestock farming here in Murray County, which and primarily we're one of the larger beef cattle producers in the state.
I would say that it's been just my visual experience that there's more cattle farming than there is plant farming that goes on in this county, I would think.
And I think if the number is correct, that
okay.
Murray County's number 2 export is beef.
That wouldn't surprise me, Gabe.
Yeah.
We're a
Next
big
to auto.
yeah we're a big beef cattle county for sure, and that's now there's a difference between total number of acres and dollar revenue. Generally, crops bring in more money. So, which one is brings the most money into the county in terms of sales, livestock or row crops? I don't know. My guess would be row crops, but that's just a guess. I mean, again, there are people out there with Farm Bureau, which is headquartered right here, state headquarters right here in Tennessee, in Columbia, Tennessee. I mean, they have the answers to those questions, and I'm sure somebody will call us here today or tomorrow, and we'll have those answers. But agriculture is extremely important to this county, and I don't know the figures, but Gabe, I'm guessing you're right that in terms of economic impact, it's second only to automotive manufacturing.
For sure, and that may be agricultural in general, not just the beef, part of farming.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. I mean, in between the two, of course, my son is a very large sheep farmer. He's got about 8,000 of them, and I think that's a growing business for this part. Southern Middle Tennessee and Murray County. It's a very good livestock business, and it's something Middle Tennessee forage works well with certain breeds of sheep, and the market for sheep is good. My son says he does better he does cattle as well, but he says year over year, pound for pound, he'll do better with the sheep than he does with the cattle, and so that's something that a sheep is not just a small cow. I mean, you got to learn. There's a learning curve. They have different diseases, different problems, different issues with both diseases and fencing, and if you don't have these guard dogs, the coyote's going to eat every sheep you got. You won't be in the sheep business.
That's
and
right.
So you got to learn to have and manage the guard dogs, and I mean there's just a pretty steep learning curve, but as Sam and other farmers start to do sheep in Murray County, then the collective knowledge of how to do sheep will expand, and it's a good alternative cash crop for Murray County farmers. So
Sam raised cows too, Del?
yes, sir, he does, Mr. York, but
Yeah, so you have to keep the cows and the sheep separate because the sheep eat the grass too short and the cows can't bite, huh?
no, Mr. York, that's a myth. I think he does keep them separate, for not for that reason. He sometimes grazes them together and has in the past. I know. No, if
if you've got plenty of land, it's not an issue.
if you do, that's a separate issue. It's called managed rotational grazing, Now, if you just put them all in a big field and you never move them, yes, you're
Yeah.
right. That's a problem. But what the more progressive farmers are doing these days is they don't leave them in one spot. They have a number of fields, and they'll let them eat the grass in one field, and then they won't graze it all the way down. They'll graze, rule of thumb, graze about half, and then move them on to the next field, et cetera, and so forth. So you keep them moving, and each field gets a period of a few weeks rest before you come back to it. And if you do that, then the sheep grazing versus cattle grazing is not a problem.
Right.
So I mean, that's a long way of saying there's ways to manage your way out of that problem. And again, that's part of the learning curve. And a lot of people will have cattle and sheep.
Well, and I'll tell you, Doug, something that I was talking to Trevor Pennington with 1822 Farms the other day, and one of the things that is going through the farming industry right now is you think about $6 a gallon diesel. Everything in a farm is diesel. Tractors that are making the hay, that are cutting the hay.
There definitely has an impact. Now that's. Again, just like the grazing issues, you can manage for less diesel, but I mean that goes to the bottom line, and farmers have to have it.
Hauling the feed, hauling the cattle, all of the above, and so I think we've got to really look at as we move forward, what does that mean to our food supply? What does that mean to the farmer and the bottom line?
Yeah,
Increased prices.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Good management can save you diesel, but you're gonna have to have some diesel no matter what you do. Probably.
That's right.
There we go, and that is an input, and that's very important because for most farmers, you're going to get what you get. The price of soybeans is set by the market, cattle set by the market. So the only way you can increase your margin is to lower your cost, and so.
That's right.
That's where farmers make their money is by learning to manage their costs.
And I think it's so important to support these local farms. I mean, we've got great farms right here in southern middle of Tennessee.
Oh wow, yes.
Right here in Murray County, the Columbia Farmers Market's a great resource. We go out to the Amish and get supplies of produce at times, and there's a lot of great resources here.
Yeah, and
Anybody
again,
bought any beef from the butcher shop over there by the courthouse annex?
I have not, Miss York.
I haven't. We own our own butcher shop, so
yeah, that's Prime and Pint here in Columbia that gave.
But
boy, it's a good restaurant too. Yeah, but that's no, Miss York, I haven't. But
they got some pretty good meat over there. It's a little expensive, but it's pretty good. Beef.
Well, the buy local thing is good, and the food is usually better and more nutritious. So yeah, it's all good. It's good to have those outlets here in Columbia. And like I said, you can go by Prime and Pint and get the best steak you've ever had, by George. All right, we're
thank
up,
you for that.
Yeah, we're up against a break here already. So let's take it. We'll come back. All right, we are back. We got two county commissioners with us. We need to talk about what's going on with Murray County, and we got off on agriculture though, which I'm glad we did because I think I know Gabe Howard's right. It's second only in economic impact to automotive production in this county. So, agriculture is not only what we eat, but it's what the second largest driver of commerce and industry and jobs in the county, I think. So.
Well,
It's a big deal.
And Delk, it really ties into some of the thought that the county commission has right now today as well, and how do we protect agriculture? What does that look like? Moving into the future, creating the vision of Murray County and protecting the farms, or just protecting the rural character of Murray County and making sure that development doesn't go across all of our rural parts. And
right. We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us. And folks, I'll just go and introduce Gabe Howard right now. He's a member of the Murray County Commission. He's running as an independent candidate for county mayor. Good morning, Gabe.
Good morning. Good
All right.
morning.
And we are three dudes with a view. I am dude number 3, Del Kennedy. Dude number 2, favorite son, native son of Columbia, Ron Hart. Ron, are you there? There you are. Yeah. Good morning.
Good. I am. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron. All right. Son of Ron Hart.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody.
I'm taking everybody out of order this morning. That's all right.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right.
But,
All right.
but I want to say something to Gabe about protecting farmland.
Okay.
I work for telephone. Go ahead.
Let me finish introductions, Mr. York.
Okay.
We'll go there first. Member of the Murray County Commission, immediate past president of the Murray County Republican Party, Jerry Bridenbaugh. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. I believe we got our introductions all around. Ms. York, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I was going to say, my profession, in my professional years, I worked for a telephone company. And if an area didn't grow, we didn't have any business. And that's the reason why I'm up here, because Louisiana didn't grow.
Right.
And I'm up here. But in protecting farmland, an area can only protect so much. I mean, it's inevitable that the area is going to grow and grow and grow when people start moving. Just like Franklin grew, Spring Hill's growing, and at some point Columbia is going to grow. And protecting the farmland might be a good idea, but you stymie progress in doing it. So, in one hand, you want rural areas. In the other hand, you want development and access. People that move here want access to new services and new businesses and new things that they're accustomed to from where they moved from. So it's hard to walk the plank to say we're going to protect farmland, but we're going to have good growth and a good economy in an area. That's a catch-22.
Ms. York, I'll respond to that because I think I have an answer, but of course I want anybody else to respond as well. I reject your premise. You can have growth and preserve farmland at the same time.
100%.
Yeah, it says Gabe Howard, and there are the legislature has passed some proposals to do that already. I know that the Murray County Planning Commission is devoting some very hard work,
Which Sam is part of and doing an amazing job.
Right, my son's part of it, and they firmly believe that we can have growth and farmland at the same time. And I will give you an example. I know Williamson County, of course, has had a similar problem. It started there first with tremendous growth, putting pressure on their farmland, and they've had several. Gosh, that's been an issue up there for years. But they've come up with some solutions that are working up there. They, of course, were talking about out in the county what lot size you had to develop, and I believe they were on maybe 1 acre per house, something like that.
Right now, today, by right, it's 1 acre per lot.
That's Murray County.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
In Williamson County, it is a 5 acre minimum.
Well, but they were proposing a 5 acre minimum up there. This is the history of it, and the development interests up there were opposed, and
of course they were.
Well, of course they were, but again, they're they're short-sighted, Gabe. They did half the county, so that as an experiment, they did half the county in 5-acre lots and half the county in 1-acre lots. Well, guess what? After a year, the 5-acre part of the county rose substantially more in value than the 1-acre part of the county. So the developers became converted up there. And so, I think the commission and others can, when developers say, we want 1-acre lots here, we can point to that and say, well, look, you're going to make more money on the 5-acre stuff. Because
That's going to go by the wayside, though, Del, because I was in Franklin when Fieldstone Farms developed. I was in Franklin when Sullivan area developed, and they were building houses by the thousands in those areas.
Well,
And
it's
so
Miss York, that was then, not now.
Mr. York, I wanted to address something that you said. First of all, Murray County, on paper, is in the top 3 fastest growing counties in the state. And so I guess I reject the idea that we're going to stunt growth because the growth is already here. The growth is not stopping. I think what we've got to do is figure out how to put guardrails because I'm a firm believer that property rights go both ways. When you look at the annexation law that Mayor Sheila Butt was part of, a co-sponsor in 2014, they passed basically what is the annexation law we have today. It allows the developer to go and ask for annexation of land with really no regard for the county and the other folks that live next to them. And so that's not right. I think that there should be a more comprehensive annexation process where the county has a seat at the table. The other homeowners, should have some representation, in what that actual annexation looks like, because you could take a farm and the farm right next to it all of a sudden becomes a high density development because it's annexed into the city. And so I think fundamentally that's super flawed.
But we get in the weeds, Gabe, when we try to prevent people from doing what they want with their property.
Well, and
Mr.
York,
I believe in property rights too, but you're just you're thinking 30, 40 years ago. There are ways to have your cake and eat it too. We can have good land value. We can have progress. We can have development, and then we can have farmland and green spaces too.
And
we
to
don't have
Delk's
to make
point-
a choice.
Yeah, you got.
There are rules around
You gotta give
how it.
you gotta give a farmer the option. The farmers have the option. If they have 500 acres and they're not making money for whatever reason in farming, they should have the right to sell their land to a developer. I mean,
Well-
you don't want to stunt their options either.
Well,
Yeah.
but the state of Tennessee,
Right.
the state of Tennessee this year though has passed a program. I don't have the details or the extent of it, but I think Farm Bureau undertook a study on what has been done in other states
the farm preservation,
for farm preservation, and but where again though, of course you could just zone land as agriculture and say, well, no, you can never develop it. Well, that's unfairly taking away land value from the landowner. So what you can do though,
Right.
and what they've done in other states, is to pay the farmer, let him cash out for the development value of his land, but keep the land. In exchange, he donates a permanent easement to the state or the land trust or whomever, where that land can only be, say, have 2 to 3 houses on it, something like that. I mean, that can be negotiated.
and
but
I don't know that's what actually passed, Elk.
it was something like that.
Yeah,
it was a pilot
and
program.
some other
I think.
states are doing that. You're basically selling those development rights. I don't know that that's actually being done in Tennessee today. It's something we definitely need to look at.
Yeah, it was a legislative priority of Farm Bureau.
It's being done. It's kind of a tax shelter scheme.
Well, it's not a scheme, but it not a nefarious scheme.
Not with that attitude.
No, I think a pilot program. I know something passed, Gabe, that Farm Bureau was supporting, and It was part of their.
Okay, so I mean, with all of it though, there's always
but
going
it's
to
a
be
win-win. It lets the
There's, but
farmer.
there's always going to be a line between.
It lets the
you
farmer
know,
have his money and keep farming. So it's
but
a
there's
win-win.
but also, what if the farm isn't profitable and it's significantly more profitable?
Then
for
they
them to
can sell it.
But I get
It's
the reason.
agricultural land. Sell it as
they can
agricultural
sell it
land.
for their. They can sell it to the
Oh,
land
and I
trust
get
for
that. The same way that I live in
value.
a.
It doesn't
I
matter
live
if it's
in a
making
Well,
money
if
or
the
not.
farmer can't make money, hire somebody else that buy it, go make money being a farmer.
Well, Mr. York, there are people that are moving to this community that have moved from another place that want land. So one of the studies that's coming out of Leapers Fork right now is farms that are actually intact are bringing acre per acre a lot more value than it broken up in development.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
So
100, 200, 3 500 acre yard farms are selling for more an acre than 5 acre lots.
That's right. And so I think, Ron, one of the things that I think we've got to really look at is nobody is saying that the farmer can't sell his land, because the truth is the reason why they're selling their land is that's their legacy. That's, what they can do for their family at the end of their life. And so I just reject the idea that they have a right to get it annexed and rezoned at the expense of quality of life of everyone else around them.
Yeah,
And
large tracts here in Murray County. I mean, I'm talking like 100 acres plus. God, they're 10 to 20.
There's always going to be a line there though, because I live in a residential area and I can't open a liquor store at my house. You're zoned for certain
drive to the
things.
liquor store, Jeb.
But
Oh, I can't. I'm just talking
Jeb,
about.
that's
Get over there,
actually
Jeb. Your
exactly
house
the
is a
point.
liquor store.
Put a still in
How
the
many
backyard.
liquor stores you want next to your house? Jeb?
Jeb, that's exactly the point.
Yes,
By
that is my point.
opening up this annexation law and this rezone, it's a free for all, because you can't even go ask for the liquor store. That farmer can go ask for the annexation.
Yeah, and in Williamson County, the 5 acres per lot in the county, what that's doing is driving development back to the city, because
Amen.
the city allows high density development.
That's where it should be, in the center core.
Yeah.
This Bristol development that's downtown Columbia, that's amazing. That's exactly where it needed to be.
And it costs so much less to the taxpayer because you've already got fire, you've already got
Urban
sewer,
sprawl
you've
is-
already got water,
That's
you've
right.
already got roads. You don't have to do. You got schools. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
That's
it's
right.
there.
That's right.
Okay, let's take a break and come back.
I kind of went down a different path I was going to go, but
All right, we are back. 3 Dudes with a View. I'm dude number 3, Del Kennedy. Dude number 2, native son, favorite son of Columbia, Ron Hart. Good morning. Ron, you there? Hello, Ron. I can
They'll
see
get you eventually.
Okay.
He's probably stuck in that Atlanta traffic.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Ron.
I'm here.
There he is. Okay, good morning, Ron.
I'm here.
Okay. Son of Ron Hart.
I almost
Jeff-
got sucked up into the mothership.
Got it.
Well, you know how they say if you go anywhere on Delta, you got to go through Atlanta.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's scripture somewhere that says if you're going to hell, you got to go through Atlanta to get there.
Well, it depends on if you're a Scientologist. But anyway, yeah.
There must be an inside joke that I missed
Well,
somewhere.
Where our email box is about to be full.
that's Gabe. Ron said something just as a joke about Scientologists about a week ago.
A Tom Cruise joke, yeah.
And he has been doxxed. He's been bombarded by
man.
Scientologists, who are mad. I mean, most of it's been polite, but they've just come at him in foul language.
That's what you get for talking about a Guinness Book of World Records holding for most published novelists in L. Ron Hubbard. A prolific man. How dare you?
Oh, and of course, Scientology is founded.
Yeah, no.
Are those
I've already
emails
ordered
from
my
this
sailor
community?
No, they're from.
No, not Columbia. No. I'm all over the United States or LA to whatever. So it tweaked, and a lot more in LA, St. Petersburg, Florida. What are you going to do? Smart people. Well, they seem to be smart. They seem to know a lot about Scientology.
Yeah, I mean the Scientologists are known for trying to drown out any criticism. So Ron has attracted their anger, and so there you go. Ron thinks it's funny. I think it's funny, and I've sort of right here on this station, I've jumped out and just sort of said "nani boo boo" to them. I'm disappointed that they hadn't attacked me or this. Yeah, but anyway,
Just give us some time, Del.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, Clayton Harris is with us, formerly dude number 2, now just guest dude. Good morning, Clayton.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
All right, special guest, Jerry Bridenbaugh, former chair of the Murray County Republican Party, now a member of the Murray County Commission. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, everyone.
And Gabe Howard, independent candidate for Murray County Mayor and member of the Murray County Commission. Good morning.
Del, you could just introduce me as a sitting elected Republican that's running for independent, because that's the only path forward here in Murray County.
Okay, all true, Gabe, and I'm glad to introduce you that way. Right now, though, in the time we got left, you two members of the county commission, I understand there was a 4-hour meeting. Or was it a committee or the full commission?
Well, it was I'll go first and then let Gabe talk because
Okay,
he was
Jerry,
on the
go.
committee. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out that the budget committee did meet last night, and it was one of the first of probably several hour long meetings. But the most important thing that was done last night of the entire agenda, the most important thing that was done was that Mr. York's raise got passed to the full commission for vote next Monday.
That's as a member of the Murray County Election Commission.
As a member of the Murray County Election Commission, that's
Well,
right.
Whatever he gets paid, and the other members, they deserve it. So,
Mr. York, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, what are we talking about? Like,
I think it was $100 a meeting.
$100 a
raised-
meeting?
Yeah, raised it from
$100
$60
a
to
meeting.
$100 a meeting. And I will say
they
that
meet once a month.
let me say that the
Or
county,
more.
the county commission has been much more generous to our election commission than the state legislature has been to our appointed attorneys. Because a year ago, the legislature saw fit to raise our hourly rate as court-appointed attorneys from $50 to $60 an hour.
Which for lawyer money, that's
So
minimal, and you got to remember that
Public
That's what the
defender.
assistants
your
make,
secretary,
right?
your insurance, I mean, that is not. You got all those your secretary, your insurance, your
and
your-
it takes
your
you
car, your office bill, and all that comes out of that.
and
so.
it takes you 6 weeks to get paid after
So-
you finish.
Well,
So,
okay,
I'll
but
just
let's go back to the Murray County Election Commission. Folks, people do not serve on the Election Commission for the money. They serve because they want to serve their county. It's also, no matter, it's a thankless job. You get phone calls when people are mad, and no phone calls when they're saying, "Oh, you did a great job." So we
Sounds
thank
like the
Mr.
county commission.
Yeah, exactly. And
Or any other elected office. For that
exactly,
matter.
and so we have to thank all public officials for their service, even though we may disagree with them. It's a sacrifice to serve, and it's certainly not for the money. All right, what happened last night?
So I sit on the budget committee, and we kind of started the night out really talking about we normally pass a deficit budget because our revenues always exceed what we're actually budgeted for. So at the end of the year, it comes out a lot of times we have a surplus.
Okay.
So one of the things we are going to try to look at, and we've asked our finance director to bring something back, is truly
Doug Laconin.
creating. Doug Laconin. He's been a great asset to Murray County. And I really leaned into last night is we trust him, allow him to bring something back to the budget committee that would look like a balanced budget. And if it's not this year, what's our transition plan look like? But I think on paper we need it to look a lot better than it does when you're going into a $7 million deficit budget. And, specifically this year, it was, I think it was over $9 million deficit budget.
It was 8.9 or something like
Yeah.
that. It was.
But at the end of the day, it wasn't a deficit, right?
It's not. And so I think there is a sentiment that the larger that grows, the scarier that becomes.
Well, you're taking a risk.
And so.
But you're always taking a risk.
For sure. And
I mean, even if you budget according to projections, the projections may not come true. You're always taking a risk.
That's right. And so government revenues are very different than a business. It's, hey, does someone pay their property taxes, building permits? Do they continue? So on and so forth. But that was kind of how we started the meeting. I think the biggest topic that was talked about last night was Murray County Fire Department. And we have 2 years ago, just so that everybody in Murray County truly understands, we are a volunteer fire department. We are not a county department. We do have 7 paid full-time employees that actually operate through a 501c3. I bet that a lot of people don't realize that. And so I presented the idea last night that we really need to take this back to a 30,000-foot view of we are one of the fastest growing counties in the state. I love the idea that we're a volunteer fire department, but I think we need to have a much more comprehensive conversation. They asked for 12 positions last night, at a cost of basically around $900,000. And to me, we're getting into that place where it needs to be a county department. There are efficiencies with
It's volunteer presently.
It is volunteer,
But it is a county department. It's just
it is not a county department whatsoever.
What is it?
It is a 501c3. We are charitably contributing to the fire department.
Who names the board of directors?
Great question. I don't know the answer, but I did find out last night that the mayor appoints the chief.
Okay.
And so
I suspect it's county control.
It's kind of a quasi.
no,
county department.
I would say the only county control that it is the mayor appoints the chief.
Well, that's a strong degree of county control.
The
yeah.
board is the division chiefs, but anyway, I just want
Okay,
to
yeah, all right.
I want
I hear
to
you.
lay this out here.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
In that room, instead of slowing down the train and saying, "Hey, let's defer this actual budget item," and have the more comprehensive conversation, it's let's keep the train going, and that's
Does
the
that
problem.
mean the status quo?
That means the status quo.
Right. Okay.
And so for me, this is why I'm running for Murray County Mayor. There has been no vision in Murray County. There has been no true proven leadership in Murray County, because why are we having these conversations at the end of our 4 years? And I just think we've tried for 2 years to have a conversation about fire, but I think we need to really slow it down. And I fully support the Murray County Fire Department. I would love to see what it looks like to get them their 12 positions that they need. But it's crazy to me that Murray County Commission funds a firehouse And you know who pays the light bill? The 501c3. So we've got a Murray County building that the 501c3 is paying the water, sewer, electric, internet out of their 501c3, but it is a Murray County building. That's a Murray County fire truck. You know, I just think.
I mean, Gabe, I know I've given money in the past to the Murray County Fire Department. They do get grant money, and I suspect they get some.
Very, very, very little grant money.
What did they get? County money, I'm sure.
They get county money. I mean, we fund through a charitable contribution. 4 years ago, their contribution was about $800,000, and right now today they are $1.4 million. Is that right?
Well, and
1.4.
but now,
Yeah, I think
just-
Because it was basically
was
doubling.
that
the Murray County
Yeah.
Fire Department
Yeah.
covers everything outside the fire departments of the municipalities: Spring Hill, Mount Pleasant, Columbia.
And we have a massive county, Delk.
I think
yeah,
that, didn't
I
they,
mean, I can't remember. It's like 500 square miles.
It's almost 600.
didn't they say it
that
was
the Murray
almost,
County Fire Department covers.
Yeah,
They
didn't they
do.
say it was almost 80% of the geographic area of the county?
Yeah, yeah,
Did
it's
they actually
huge.
Yeah.
cover?
Yeah.
And it has the fire service has a huge impact on homeowners insurance prices, and so nobody
Well,
disagrees that there should be fire protection out in the county. It's just how much protection and how much should we spend?
And let me throw this out, Delk, because we're running short, and
I
I'll
know,
let
yeah.
Gabe. But I remember 2 years ago when Jose came to us with these different scenarios of how we could fund a full-time fire department, and there was talk back and forth about, well, we don't want to raise taxes, we don't want to pass
Fire
a referendum,
districts.
we don't want to do this and do that. And I'm one of those on the commission that live out in the county. I mean, my home is about 2 miles from the Cullioca Fire Department.
Yeah.
And I think one of the
Now
premises
that's a
was,
Murray County Fire Department.
That's a Murray County Fire
is.
Department
and it's
in
a
Cullioca.
volunteer fire department.
And so the premise was, well, if I remember the numbers right, the premise was this one scenario would raise or would in put a tax on for $170 a year for all county residents to pay for the fire department. And my comment during that discussion was, if I'm standing in my front yard watching my house burn down, I'm not thinking, well, by God, I saved $170 on my taxes. What I'm doing is looking at my homestead burning to the ground that I got to rebuild. And I just don't, I think it's time, I agree with the concept, but it's time we looked at how to make this happen. It's been talked about for way too long.
Jerry,
What was the
the
discussion
problem
last
is
night, Gabe?
we need to reprioritize what's important in Murray County. We're spending $16 million on a courthouse and essentially are really gaining a whole lot of nothing.
You're talking about renovating the old courthouse?
I am talking about it.
Okay.
You know, you look at the debt service payment on that would probably go pretty far away, for our Murray County Fire Department. And so to me, it's all about reprioritizing what's important. I'm working on also presenting the senior property tax freeze. Not relief. Relief is something you can currently do. The senior property tax freeze would essentially freeze our seniors' taxes. And so there's a constitutional amendment on that almost 20 years ago. Murray County has never enacted that. And it's time, Murray County, reach out to your county commissioners and ask them to support the senior property tax freeze.
Right. And
So, Gabe, what you're saying is that the fire department is not totally funded by the county, right? It's
No,
got to
I
take
didn't-
money out of its 501c.
That's the Murray County Fire Department, Mr. York.
We,
Yeah, the rural
we
fire
fund the
protection.
501c3.
right.
Oh,
Ms.
okay.
York,
It,
have you
it
ever
is funded by tax dollars.
have
Mr.
you ever
York.
lived? You live in the city, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever lived out in the county?
No.
Clayton, you live out in the county, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. So you rely on Murray County Fire Department.
We do. I couldn't tell how many times we've taken portraits from giving money to the local
And
volunteer.
they're amazing. We
Yeah.
need to support them.
Agreed.
Yeah, we do. But I disagree with you, Gabe, that the Murray County courthouse, the old courthouse renovation, shouldn't be a priority as well. But
It's not the highest priority, Mr. York. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's a debate we can have and should have. And once again, we've run out of time and with so much to talk about. I've gotten an email or a text from a listener. Yes, last year, Governor Lee signed a bill, the Farmland Preservation Act. It's $25 million fund to support voluntary permanent conservation easements on agricultural and forest land. Now, $25 million is minuscule.
615
Drop in the
square
bucket.
miles. Murray County is